If your horse has a cold back or has got a tight back or resists bringing their hind legs underneath at the canter, for instance, and the horse travels with the head up and the back hollow, I would look to one of the largest muscles in the horse's body, one of them, which is the longissimus dorsi. It's the back muscle. It extends the spine. If a muscle is tight, the muscle tightness inhibits the release process of the muscle tissue. So the muscle can't let go if it's really tight. So in such motions as bringing the hind end underneath or rounding the horse's back and bascule for jumping, excuse me, wait a minute, Dove. You're our student today. You're our subject. Not a boy. That's a boy. Then you would look to the longissimus dorsi as a very common performance problem when a back is tight. So all muscles have two ends. This one attaches to the three sacral spines here. This is its origin. And then it moves across horizontally to underneath the scapula, and then it attaches to the cervical spine. We can't palpate that, but we can palpate and work on the major belly of the longissimus dorsi and also at the origin. To palpate, I use a soft hand, and I use the surface of my fingers and my hand and press in, and if the muscle comes back and fills my hand and rebounds, that muscle is not tight. This horse is in such good shape and is ridden by a true athlete that his back is not tight. He's got a proper saddle, he's got proper saddle fitting, he's properly shod, he's properly muscled. So just for demonstrations, I want to show you where you would work if a muscle were tight. The first thing you want to do is check where their legs are. His leg has to be neutral, either where it is right now or behind him. If his leg is underneath his body, this muscle will be tight because it's in an overstretch. It would be like me bringing my leg to my chest, my back feels tight. When I'm in a resting place, my back is softer. Same with the horse. So always pay attention to where their legs are and how they're posturing if you want to assess back tightness. You also assess it by riding, obviously. If they travel with their head up, they don't want to come through, they don't want to go over their back, they don't want to round their back in dressage movements or in jumping and bascule. So I immediately start by trying to widen these fibers first. So I do compressions with the heel of my hand. Soft hand, firm yet soft. So you give with the horse. When a hand is soft, you can receive information. If your hand is tight and stiff and you start poking at it, you're not receiving anything. You're working against resistance. It's like two people arguing. You never get anywhere when you argue. So you need to be soft. Then I will go again and I will do compressions along the fibers, staying behind my hand like this. Loosen them. See how he's doing. And then I'll go up to where the origin is, here. And I will press into that origin, and you can see I'm stimulating a receptor here, and I'm using what's called proprio-neurofacilitation or neurophysiological response is what I'm receiving, which will help to loosen the back. So I'm stimulating this point, 5 seconds, I let it go, and the back usually loosens. And then I'll come down here, I'll work here, I'll do direct pressure there, I'll do a little cross fiber, again here, and it usually will loosen. It will loosen almost immediately. Why does a muscle get tight in the back? They could have a gastrointestinal issue where the back tightens. It could be an ill-fitting or imbalanced saddle. It could be too many pads causing pressure on the back. It could be they're uncomfortable down low in their feet or their ankles or their stifles or their hocks. If they're very tight in the lower back, obviously use common sense. It can be that something in this quadrant of the horse is compromised or uncomfortable. If it's up front, it's going to be front feet, front legs, stomach, anything. So this part may suggest this. The whole back could suggest the horse has got a tight saddle or an imbalanced saddle. How also to release this would be to canter the horse. After you do the compressions on the horse and the direct pressure and cross-fiber friction, you want to get on the horse as long as he's safe. If he's not safe, and there's a question that he's not safe, you could either lunge him or wait another day, but canter him. The canter is the most concerted exercise at lengthening all the muscle groups. So the canter requires the hind leg to come way underneath like this, the front legs to stretch, the neck stretches. That's why the trot always feels better after the canter, because you've synchronized the horse from back to front, but you've also lengthened the back. So this is all illustrated and discussed in my book, Keeping Horses at Their Best. It's a hands-on guide, a very easy to follow hands-on guide to address common performance problems, such as a tight back and a cold back. I tell you exactly where to work, how long to work, what the causes are, and it's all color photographs. So again, the back is loose, and I would not overdo. Once the tissue changes, stop. Otherwise, it becomes the law of diminishing returns. Right, Dove?